YouTube vinyl community, Beach Boys fans, random people on the internet, my name is Giggens, and we're here today to talk about the best-sounding copy of Carl and the Passions. That's right, the 1972 release, now released again on the Ceylon Sailor box set. I thought to myself, you know what, we did Holland, let's do Carl and the Passions. And let's start with the cassette tape. This is the original cassette tape from 1972. It came with Pet Sounds, so side 1 was Pet Sounds, side 2 was Carl and the Passions. Yes, that's how it went. You would think Carl and the Passions would be side 1 because that's the new album, but nope. They put Carl and the Passions on side 2. This tape sounds decent. It's a little muddy. It's lacking the background vocals. It's a cassette from 1972. It's amazing it still plays. It sounds fine though. It's very clean, good bass, very crisp, especially on songs like He Comes Down. It just sounds really, really tied in. It's a very nice sounding tape. Again, not the brightest thing in the world, but decent nonetheless. Up next, the 1991 digitally remastered Caribou mix. There you go. I guess remaster, not mix, if we're going to be technical about it. Who cares? This sounds fantastic. Very clean, very articulate. The vocals are super upfront. The background vocals shine. This is a great sounding copy of this album. It's funny. These Caribou CDs really did a fantastic job. They sound absolutely, unbelievably clean and clear. Highly recommend picking this one up. Up next is the 2000 twofer with Holland, and this is a really great sounding mix. It really isn't bad. Definitely a louder mix compared to the 1991 CD, but a little bit more bass, but really overall not bad. You really can't go wrong with this one either. And then the 2022 Ceylon Sailor remaster, and I gotta admit, this is one of my favorite ones. Very, very clean instrumentation separation. The stereo mix is great. You can hear the differences in the instruments. You can hear them blending together. Very crisp vocals. The drums are a tiny bit thin, but it kind of makes up for it with the vocals being so much more up front. Like early versions of this album, the vocals are a little bit, I don't want to say underneath everything else, but they're not as upfront as they should be. And this definitely corrects that a lot. So if you haven't bought Carl and the Passions yet on CD, this really is a good one to get. As far as the vinyl goes, check out this 1972 original copy, still in the shrink. They cut the sides open, but it's never been opened. There's a price tag for a store called Gary's. Never heard of that one, but they got the good time sounds, so that's cool. This particular vinyl is extremely clean. Someone bought this, recorded it to a cassette tape, and put it back on the shelf. It's one of those albums. It sounds great. The only hiccup is the vocals are a little bit buried in the mix. They're not as upfront as I'd like them to be. Especially on the first track, You Need a Mess of Help to Stand Alone. You're kind of like, huh? What? Again, that just could be my hearing, but they really are a little underneath everything else. Which gives the music a time to shine, so that sounds kind of cool, but I also want to hear their voices. It's the Beach Boys. That's kind of what they're known for. And up next is the 2022 remaster for the Ceylon Sailor box set, and I gotta admit, it sounds almost completely identical to the 1972 vinyl. There are very few differences. I would say there's more bass, and the vocals are a little bit more upfront. But beyond that, if you can't find an original copy, this is as close as you're gonna get. It sounds really good, very clean, well-balanced, well-mixed. I would say probably the 1991 CD sounds, quote-unquote, the best, to me anyway. But really, the new Ceylon Sailor mixes do sound fantastic. You really can't go wrong with these either. So there you go. Carl and the Passions, so tough. What's your favorite version of this album? Is it on CD? Is it on cassette? Is it on 8-track? Is it on mini disc? I don't think it was ever released on mini disc. Vinyl. What's your favorite version of it? What do you like about it? What do you look for when it comes to sound? Do you want more bass? Do you want more articulation? Do you want more top end so it's a little bit more crisper on your ears? I know for me, I like having more crisp on the top end because I have hearing loss. So for me, that helps a lot. I can hear the bass frequencies with no problem, but especially that 1991 CD release, I'm like, ooh, cool. I can hear the vocals. It's really nice. But I love the back. They recreated the European version for the Carl and the Passions for the new box set. I love that they did that. It would have been kind of cool if they reissued Pet Sounds with it at the same time, but then again, we've got Pet Sounds a million times over, but it would have been in mono. Kind of cool, and that particular pressing sounds really, really good. So if you do get an original with Pet Sounds on it, you got a good sounding Pet Sounds for yourself. But overall, this 2022 version sounds really, really good. Highly recommend it. So there you go. My name's Giggens. These are the different versions of Carl and the Passions that I have that, you know, sound really cool, and thought you might want to hear my thoughts about it. There you go. What are your thoughts about it? See you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Giggens. See ya.